Hey everyone, Steve here from theturtlefollower.com, and this is the stock market outlook video for Saturday, March 14th, 2015. Thinkorswim's having a few issues with the program. I guess, I don't know, for some reason it's not showing Friday's price action, so I had to revert over to an online source. So it's going to be a little different this week. Bear with me. I'm not used to using this as I am the platform itself, but we'll figure it out as we go. Now, ultimately, as we discussed last week, we said risk was to the downside, and that's exactly what happened. We were talking here. This was last Friday's action right here, this big red candle. And what ended up happening was we ended up getting a small bounce on Monday and then a follow through Tuesday, Wednesday. Thursday was a nice up day, thinking that, you know what, this may be the reversal because we pulled back a significant amount. We were all of a sudden back over the 50-day moving average. And sure enough, Friday came and we pretty much put in a bunch of indecision. If we try and zoom in here a bit, there we go. Okay, you can see that we closed right below the 50-day moving average. And we tested the bottom, we tested the top. You could see that with the wicks on the candle, and ultimately closed right in the middle of yesterday's range. So an inside day, needless to say, if we forget about the wicks, an inside day from Thursday. So this is another form of consolidation. Okay, we can look at this potentially for a move higher. All right, but ultimately you could see that we did test both sides and ultimately finished right in the middle. So it was options expiration, so I'm sure that had a lot to do with it. But looking at the price action now, let's go and see if we could figure out how to use these tools. We've talked about this trend right here, okay? Assuming that we go from the low back here on 1016, all right, through the low here from 2.2, and then using the low from 311, which was Wednesday. All right, assuming that's the case, you can see we had all this consolidation right in here. Okay, so that should support going forward, but we shouldn't really come too far back into that. If we were going to test, ultimately we would have loved to see the test stop somewhere either in this range here at 20 or 208 and or this area right here. All right, right around 206.20. So neither of them really held, but you could see how we did bounce back above that on Thursday. All right, so at this point, I still believe that this trend line really should hold. All right, that's my assumption. If you look at some of the oversold indicators, we were extremely oversold. Now, whether this is just an oversold bounce or not, obviously that'll come into play. But we really want to break that downtrend line. And I wish I could kind of squeeze it in, but I don't know how to exactly. If I could just grab it. Well, anyway. I mean, it looks very steep there, but ultimately you can see that we are underneath that downtrend line. All right, so looking at it from that perspective, you have really two levels to look at. Okay, you can look at the high from Thursday and the low from Wednesday. All right, whichever side of that box breaks first, that's the way we're going to head. And it seems easy enough, but if we're really in a 4-day consolidation, all right, and we haven't had that in a while. So that's a plus for the bulls, all right, that we're consolidating right around support. If this trend line is going to hold, we're going to break out of the top of the box. If, on the other hand, the bulls are going to take us down, the bears are going to take us down below this trend line, then they're going to break the bottom of the box right around this 204. If this bottom breaks, then I see no reason we don't test 1988 or at least 200. All right, that's just my opinion. But again, I see no reason. There's nothing really in the way of support. I mean, there's a lot of consolidation that we're going to have to chew through, but I don't see any reason that it wouldn't at least go down and test this 200 area. And ultimately, if we test that 200, I have a feeling it doesn't hold in the long run. But I've said before, and I'll say it again, I still think that these are the lows here. 1988, I think, are the lows for a significant amount of time. I like this trend line. And I like the fact that we're consolidating now. What I'd like to see in either Monday or Tuesday is a break over 207. All right, so that was the SPY. Let's go over and look at the Qs. Okay, and you can see here that we are holding the 50-day moving average, all right, as opposed to the SPY where we didn't hold. You could see that if, however you want to draw this consolidation, okay, ultimately right there, it's probably a horizontal line here, right? Yeah, there we go. Okay, there's your, oh wow, that's cool. Anyway, there's your horizontal line. Okay, so you can see we've held the top of that box. All right, we did break down a little bit underneath this 106 area, but we are holding the 50-day and we are holding the top of that consolidation. Now, if we look at along a trend line, okay, again, you can see that between this low, the low here, the low from 129, and then there's the low again from Friday. All right, so there's a significant possibility that we can bounce from here. All right, this is a much better situation than the S&P, where we're kind of below the 50-day and really kind of back in the consolidation. This is still testing the top of that consolidation. All right, so the Qs look much stronger to me. Again, if we start breaking below 104.70, most likely the SPY is also breaking below its box. Now, if we look at the diamonds, the Dow, okay, similar to the SPY. All right, again, we'll draw that same trend line in, and you can see this trend line is coming into play on a lot of the actual indices. All right, here's that consolidation. This one's a little bit different, but here is that consolidation somewhere through here. All right, so we're kind of back in that consolidation, and also here's the consolidation from the last 4 days. Okay, you could see we basically tested Wednesday's low on Friday and bounced off of it. So this is almost like a little bit of a hammer, all right, and should lead to higher prices. I still think that this breaks out to the upside, 178.93. That's my guess. But again, break down below 176.24, and we're probably going to go and test this 171 area. All right, just don't see why not. But again, here's your two areas of concern. That 171, and you need a break over or under 176.21. So those are the three major indices that we look at. We'll also take a look real quick at the IWM, which is actually the strongest of the bunch right now. It hasn't been in the past, but IWM definitely showing some strength the last week or so. And we've talked about, this longer term consolidation right through here. However you want to draw it. You could draw it like that. You could come down here. All right, I'm more inclined to draw something like this with a false breakout in the middle. But you could see again, it's a repeat, it sounds like a broken record a bit. But look at the trend. Pretty amazing when you can sit back and draw these trend lines, and they can connect all of a sudden to a bunch of different points that you didn't realize were actually along that trend before. But again, I'm looking at the IWM in a high base. All right, this is very, very close to breaking out. Ultimately, over 123.47 is a breakout level. All right, you could see came back down, tested the 50-day moving average, tested the trend line. That all passed. On Wednesday, it was higher. On Thursday, it gapped higher. And on Friday, it closed near the top of the range. So much stronger than any of the other three. But ultimately, I think this may carry the remaining markets higher. If we zoom out, we've talked about this in the IWM. Let me figure out how to zoom out. Let's go to a 5-year. Okay, perfect. All right, we've talked about how the IWM has these periods of consolidation and then these runs. Okay, you can see that. And here's the run. All right, now if we go here, you can see this next period of consolidation right through here. So maybe this is getting ready to do another run. So IWM looks like the stronger of the of the four. Ultimately, the other three have some areas to work on, but my guess this week would be that we are looking for a risk-on scenario. We are oversold in the markets, looking to put risk on. That's exactly what we're doing in the model portfolio. I have some great setups that I'm going to show the members today, and we're going to look at potential for adding risk to the portfolio. All right, we've gone through the last week or so where we've been taking risk off the portfolio, and now I want to look at putting risk on. And just one other note here, you could see that other trend line right here. Okay, make it even thicker. Pretty amazing. Again, connecting 4 major points. So this market is still in an uptrend and appears to be breaking out. Almost looks like it could really be drawn in a bit of a channel here. Something like that. All right, so that's what we're looking at. Again, I feel it's a risk-on scenario. The way I take that call back is if we start breaking the lows from Wednesday. All right, the lows from Wednesday are the line in the sand, and those are the ones that really need to hold moving forward. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for bearing with me. I know it's not sometimes easy, but I feel we did a pretty good job with some new software here. So anyway, thanks for bearing with me. Have a great rest of the weekend, and be sure to subscribe to the nightly recap. All right, to get more videos just like this sent out, and I'm trying to get a blog post out next either tomorrow or early next week, so be on the lookout for that as well. Have a great rest of the weekend, guys. Thanks for watching. Take care.